Hello, my name is Eric Bubble. I sometimes go by the name of Simon, and this is a thoughts video. Now, this is a thoughts video on Pioneer Days by Minstrel Games. It is a dice drafting Western experience. If you've ever played the old retro game Oregon Trail, where you're basically trying to get your guys to Oregon along a dusty trail via what is considered to be a caravan, and everything goes horribly wrong. This is a game that kind of replicates it. Now, I have been wary on Western games in the past, especially one called Dice Town, which was again a game featuring dice, and you're kind of generating poker hands using those dice, and it was featured in the Western theme. And I didn't really particularly enjoy the game. However, Pioneer Days actually surprised me. I went into it a bit wary, but I really did enjoy this. This is a nice, cute game. It doesn't take too long to play, and it's got some really cool mechanics. The basic premise of the game is you're trying to get victory points. You get victory points in a few ways. One could be the cattle that you have at the end of each round is going to get you some victory points. If you do favors, which is basically whenever you get to the end of a week or round, you can hand in certain items, and if you do, you'll get favors, which will generate you victory points. Or you can hire people. If you hire people, they'll give you a bonus, but at the end of the game, they'll also give you victory points based on certain criteria. Now, the gameplay is actually quite simple. Essentially, one person is going to roll dice, which are going to be the number of players plus one, and then they're going to choose which dice they want. And then going around the table, each person is going to choose one dice. The dice that gets left out goes into what is called the disaster area. And what this means is you kind of push up these 4 different tracks, and these could be things such as storms, which would damage your wagon, or it could be disease, which will kill off your townsfolk, or it could be, say, famine, which will kill off your livestock, or even like a cowboy raid or bandit raid, which will then lose you half your money. What you're trying to do essentially is play the game in such a way that you're drafting these dice to get you items that can be used to prevent these disasters. But these items are crucial because the main way of getting victory points, remember those towns at the end, you can give your items over to those towns and get favor, which will get you victory points. It's a balancing game of thinking, how much do you really need? Okay, I have a lot of medicine. Is a disease going to come up? It could come up in the next 2 rounds, so do I want to risk it? That's the interesting thing about this game. You're trying to do this constant seesaw of balancing in terms of your resources. Do I have enough space in my wagon to carry all this stuff? Should I hire this extra person who might die off in the next round because I simply don't have the medicine to prevent a disease? It's really quite clever. Again, it's a simple mechanic. Each dice essentially has 6 sides to it. Each side represents a different action you can take, or you can simply just use the action to get money, or you can use the action to hire a person on that spot. So, for example, I could say, take the equipment dice. The equipment dice would either get me 3 money, or would let me take an equipment, or let me hire the person on the equipment spot. What's really cool about the equipment is it has a little icon, and the icons match what's on the dice. So essentially what happens is whenever you choose a dice that has the icon on your equipment, that equipment will then trigger, which could get you extra points, it could get you, say, an extra medicine or extra wood, or could do something else. And I really like this because you kind of are trying to play it in a way where it's kind of set collection. You're trying to get all these equipments. In my case, I had, whenever I would go and mine for some gold, I would be able to do it a second time. So that was kind of focusing my strategy, and I was trying to get people or townsfolk that also had the same goal in mind, which was to get a lot of gold nuggets, which again are also victory points. So that was really my focus. But again, it was the balancing of, okay, I need gold nuggets, but then I also need wagons to carry the gold, but then I also need wagons to carry medicine and wood in case disasters come up. So you're trying to do this whole balancing act, and it's really fun. My friend, on the other hand, he had this medicine strategy. Each person kind of gets their own character, which is just basically like their own thematic power in a sense. But his character allowed him to change a dice value to what he wants, but he could only then take money afterwards. But all his equipment focused on the one symbol. So when he ever changed a dice into medicine, he would get 6 money for the medicine dice, but then all his medicine items would then trigger all his medicine equipment. So he would get 6 money, a wood, a medicine, and a allowance to prospect. It was just crazy. But the interesting thing is again the timing, because he had like 6 characters out. He had 6 townsfolk, all could give him VP, but because he didn't play it properly, there was a disease that came out which basically wiped out all of his townsfolk because he didn't have the medicine protected. Now, this might sound a bit harsh, but in reality, it's a fairly common balancing mechanic. It reminds me a lot of Archipelago, in which every round, or at the end of each round, there's a disaster, and people have to work together to try and prevent this disaster, else you're going to lose the game. This is very similar. The disasters kind of act as a balancing mechanic, right? If someone's doing too well, they're going to get taken out by the disasters. If they're doing too poorly, the disaster is not going to affect them that much. So in my case, I was thinking, okay, well, you know what? I don't want cattle because I don't want them to get killed off by disease. I don't want any money because that's going to be stolen by bandits. And if I can find a way to protect my wagons and find a way to keep my people healthy with medicine, I should be fine, and that will affect my general strategy. Again, what's nice about this game is that you simply have different directions you can go. It's not like you're going to be playing the same game a lot. And also, I love how you can take and manipulate the dice to be in your favor. You know, I had one round where I knew I could give my person playing to my left this. I could take, say, the yellow die, and then he'll be stuck with 2 choices. And I knew both the choices were pretty bad for him because he didn't want either of those disasters to hit him at the right time. So even though the thing gave, for example, even though the dice gave him wood and he didn't even need any more wood, he had to take that dice because if he didn't, that dice would then trigger the disaster and then he would be even worse off. So I like that. I like how you can screw with other people. Again, the game is not interactive a lot. Your biggest competition is just which dice you get taken, but that's not a bad thing. I think what the game is, it's a really good deal. It's a very nice theme. The dice are nice to hold, nice to play with, and the dice drafting is a lot of fun, and the combos you can pull off are great. But also the game doesn't take too long. This is a 45-minute game, probably to an hour. You know, if you're playing with up to 5 people, and it goes fast, it goes snappy, and that's what I like about it. I think Pioneer Days is a great game, very good. It can easily be in one of your collections. I would recommend it. But anyway, that's going to be from me. I hope you have enjoyed this thoughts video. If you have, then please like and subscribe to the videos. If you didn't, you know, you can always hit the dislike button and leave a message. I would love to hear what I'm doing wrong. Perhaps you disagree with me. Perhaps there's other better dice drafting games out there. But for me, this is a fairly good one that I think you should get. Anyway, that's going to be from me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.